Hey guys, literally in this video, I'm going to save your entire fantasy football year. And not only that, I'm going to put you guys light years ahead of the sheep in your drafts because there's a major mistake that's going on in fantasy drafts now, literally, that nobody's seeing except for this channel and what I'm seeing. And nobody's talking about it, nobody's addressing it, but I want to make you guys aware of it and avoid the potential pitfalls of this mistake that's going on in drafts this year. Okay, guys, this video can literally save your entire season. I'm excited to dive into it, guys. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm not going to spend too much time on the intro other than just grab 16 rounds. If this is making sense to you, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up if you guys found value from this video. But this is something we need to talk about. It's a big mistake that's happening in drafts. And again, I'm the only one talking about this. You need to listen carefully, okay? Hit the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But one big mistake, first of all, before I get to it, is that everybody's literally telling you to draft based on ADP, guys. If you draft based on ADP, you will lose your league, okay? If you draft based on consensus rankings, you will lose your league. So this is what this video is about. Now, let me explain what this mistake is, okay? What's happening right now, especially in early drafts. Now, I'm literally in I'm in a 2K buy-in league right now. I'm in the middle of a draft. It's a 2-hour slow draft, one quarterback. You can flex, two flex, but it's one quarterback, okay? Tight end premiums, tight ends get 1.5 per reception. But I really want to talk about something that's very, very important that's going on in the early drafts. It's literally going to save your season, okay? There is wide receiver committees this year. There's no doubt about it. It's prevalent. It's obvious in the Bears. It's obvious in the Texans. It's obvious with Jordan Love and the Packers. It's obvious with the Chargers. Okay, where there are situations where we don't know 100%. Nobody can specify clearly who the wide receiver one is. Okay, but let me tell you what the big mistake is and how to solve it. Okay, so the big mistake is teams like the Bears, where there's Rome Odunze, the top, one of, if not the best wide receivers out of the class, okay? He's on the Bears. DJ Moore, who's already settled in as the wide receiver one. You got a rookie quarterback coming in, and you got Keenan Allen, okay? You've got this, like, mess of, like, potential wide receiver ones where nobody really knows who the wide receiver one is, right? Yet everybody is telling you to draft these guys early. Texans, Nico Collins, I'm in this draft. Nico Collins came off round 3, Stephon Diggs round 4, and Tank Dell round 5. This is ludicrous. These guys who just paid $2K to get into this league just wasted a pick potentially. One of these guys could emerge, or it could be like wide receiver roulette where it's like Nico has a big week, then Diggs has another big week, and then Dell has a big week with 2 touchdowns. Nobody really knows. So you're literally taking extreme chances in these early rounds. This is the mistake, guys. DJ Moore, again, coming off very early. Keenan Allen coming off very, very early. These guys, there's no clear indication, especially with the rookie quarterback when you talk about the Bears, there's no clear indication on who the wide receiver one is. I mean, even with Jordan Love, we saw last year, we don't even know who the wide receiver one is, but you guys don't have to pay a second, third, or fourth round pick on wide receivers like Reed, Watson, and Dobbs. You can get them later. Similar to Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Brendan Rice, and Josh Palmer, you can get these guys later. Now, this is a 2-part scenario here. First of all, I'm going to highlight the mistake, and second of all, I'm going to give you guys a great solution. Again, tons of value. If you guys see value in this video, hit that thumbs up and grab 16 rounds because this is what I teach, guys. I don't tell you to draft based on consensus. I tell you how to actually win your league. So let's backtrack here. So if you look at the Texans here, Nico round 3, this is a 2K buy-in league. Diggs round 4, Dell round 5. They don't know. Nobody knows. So why waste a second, third, or fourth round pick on uncertainty when you can get clear-cut volume getters in your league? Now, for example, I hope he has a great year. I ended up getting Derrick Henry round 3. I got a value for a guy who's going to be the workhorse on his team where there's no committee. Now, Nico Collins went in the same round. Now, Nico Collins could have a great year, and I love CJ Stroud, right? But the problem is we don't know. Diggs could be the one. Dell could be the one. We don't know. But I think Nico's going to have some big games. It's just not going to be consistent. Same with DJ Moore. He could be the one. Or does the rookie quarterback gravitate to Rome Odunze and he becomes the one and Allen's kind of fading out? He's old, right? Nobody knows yet. The mainstream, the mock drafts, people getting into 2K leagues, which is great for me and you. And if you got 16-round draft solution, you're going to be light years ahead of everybody. But it's such a waste. And this goes back to last year. A perfect example, T. Higgins. Everybody and their mother was telling you to draft T. Higgins in round 2. I'm like, don't draft T. Higgins because why are you drafting a known wide receiver 2. And that's when you actually knew, and people were telling you, draft Higgins round 2 when you can get wide receiver 1s later, right? Why draft Waddle when you know he's a 2 on his team in round 2? Now, if an injury happens, great, but you don't really want to draft based on injury, especially in the early round, okay? So the mistake is, again, that there's uncertainty on who the wide receiver 1 is, right? Stick with me, yet they're being drafted very high. Here's a solution. It's a 2-part solution. Number 1, take risks later. So grab your workhorses, your ace wide receivers, your certain guys in the early rounds, whether it be wide receiver, running back, okay? Get those guys. If you want, and this is the year where I'm actually anchoring my team with an ace quarterback early, a CJ Stroud or a Josh Allen early, because I don't like those wide receivers in those rounds, okay? I mean, there are some safe guys. I explained it all in 16 rounds. Guys like Drake London, who's in a relatively safe position. Marvin Harrison, who isn't so much in a committee, right? But, guys, so the solution is don't do this. Don't gamble and take risks with your second or third round fantasy football draft pick. It's a waste, okay? What you need to do is you need to make sure that you get those safe guys, the guys that have a huge gap between the wide receiver 1 and the wide receiver 2. That's step 1. Number 2, aim on getting quarterbacks that are in these situations. So Herbert, great value. He's got all these wide receivers. You don't know who the wide receiver is. It's good for the quarterback. CJ Stroud, good for the quarterback, not good for the wide receivers until you actually know who the wide receiver 1 is, okay? Now, if you do want to take a chance on wide receivers with uncertainty, example, Jayden Reed, Christian Watson, who's apparently over his hamstring thing, and Romeo Doubs, who was the alpha in the playoff game last year, right? He could be Doubs for the wide receiver 1. We don't know. If you want to take a risk and take a chance on those wide receivers, do it in later rounds. Get yourself a Reed, a Watson, or a Doubs. You're not spending a second, third, or fourth round pick. You're doing that with the Nikos and the Diggs and the Dells. You're doing that with the Moores and the Allens, okay? This is huge. And again, nobody's talking about this. Nobody's addressing this. And this is going to be a huge mistake for anybody drafting Nico round 3 potentially, and then Diggs right after, and then Dell. Because you're literally, not all those guys are going to be fed to give you a solid ROI and have these guys return on based on their ADP. So 1 or 2, if not all 3, could potentially bust, and you're investing in such a high draft capital pick. Does this make sense? You need to know this. You need to be aware of this, guys. I'm telling you guys, this is going to put you light years out of the competition. Now, if you want to formulate that optimal roster, grab the 16-round draft session where I laid out with you video training, optimal players drafting each round, printable cheat sheet. I update this until the season starts. Grab 16 rounds, guys. You'll be light years out of the competition. But I'm telling you, we're talking fantasy football draft strategy. You need to avoid this big mistake of drafting wide receivers in committees so early with uncertainty on who the wide receiver 1 is, okay? Especially with the Bears. What a mess. I mean, you don't even know what's going to happen there. I mean, Rome Odunze could be the one for all we know. He's by far the youngest, hungriest, and most talented potentially. DJ Moore he was a good 1B, and Keenan Allen's old as dirt. Didn't even finish the last 3 games of the season last year, right? I'd rather have Rome Odunze, but I'm kind of fading that entire situation. So, if you want Ladd McConkey, you can get him later. Get him 6th, 7th, 8th round, right? If you want Jayden Reed, 7th, 8th, 9th round, right? Like, you don't have, if you're taking a chance on these wide receivers, take them later, okay? And check this out. Like, it's not like, Justin Herbert's a slouch. It's not like Jordan Love's a slouch. In fact, I trust Justin Herbert more than I trust Caleb Williams, So you guys, you got to take a look at the scenario. You got to take a look and make sure you make smart decisions, aiming high on the depth chart and making sure you get the alpha on every roster, all right? If this makes sense to you, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Practical stuff, guys, okay? I teach this stuff. I do direct coaching. There's a direct coach link. You can book a time with me. And also, I do videos like this where I'm giving you guys practical advice in my Patreon group, Fantasy Frontlines. This is a bit of a sample of kind of how I talk to my frontliners. So you can join the Patreon group right there for in-season stuff, waiver wires, optimal players, optimal waiver wires, optimal plays each week, starts and sits, everything you guys need for in-season and exclusive content, okay? Guys, we'll talk soon in the next video. I'll keep the content coming daily to you guys. I appreciate you. We'll talk soon. And again, start thinking, guys, okay? That's when it puts you, if you keep drafting on ADP, you're not going to win your leagues, all right? Talk soon, guys. Content coming to you daily. I appreciate you. I'm out.